Hello again. Today's lesson is from the dim and distant past. It's about bands that never really made it, but perhaps should have in our eyes. Right? In 1974, there was a band called Home. They made an album called Pause for a Horse Horse that didn't really catch. I don't have it on CD. I don't know if it's available on CD. They then brought out this, and this was really touted. This was like, this is going to be the big band. You may, if I can hold it close, you may actually recognise the album. Now, Home were four guys, two of whom are sadly no longer with us, Mick Cook on the drums, and Mick Stubbs, who wrote the majority of the material and was the guitarist and singer. Laurie Wisefield, who formed an incredible guitar partnership with Andy Powell and Wishbone Ash, and Cliff Williams, who went on to play with AC/DC. So right after that, they did this. Now this is my choice. When over a few drinks, when people say greatest concept album of all time, The Alchemist. It's a fable. It's a story about alchemy. It's a very spiritual, emotional journey about two small boys who befriend a magician, and I can't listen to the end of it without shedding a tear, and I've heard it 1,000 times. I always thought someone would take a punt at maybe filming this. It's never happened yet, but when it does, I'll be first in the queue to see it. That's the whole thing. The Alchemist didn't take off like I think we thought it would, So that was really the end. And retrospectively, they brought this in, which was live BBC sessions. And it features a complete, any Home fans who don't have this one, this is well worth getting. It's a complete live version of The Alchemist. So, anyway, they were a band I absolutely loved. So they're one of these bands that it's like, it's like your band that you adore, but hardly anybody knows anything about, right? So, on that album, the second album, the one that's just called Home, they nearly had a hit single, called Fancy Lady Hollywood Child. And it featured a bit of guitar playing by Laurie Wisefield that is massively influential to me, because I didn't really know at the time that you could do this. Up till then, I was under the impression that in A, you played off that scale in C. But I had figured out that you could be in C and go 3 frets down and go. Because I'd obviously heard stuff like Clapton's Bell Bottom Blues. Where he played off a C major, A minor scale. So without getting into all that sort of stuff, this song, Fancy Lady Hollywood Child, has an absolutely beautiful solo by Laurie Wisefield. And it's only got 3 chords. It's got a G, then it's got an F, then it's got a C, and then a G. Right? And it's got a vocal intro where Mick Stubbs sings. It's about a kind of vapid, pampered, Hollywood celebrity obsessed princess. Thankfully we don't have that in our culture anymore. So first line is this G chord, and Mick Stubbs sings the first line, which is looking back, you were never loved by no one, you were just a Hollywood child. At this point, Laurie plays. There's the F chord, C, and Laurie plays. Now, towards the end of the song, it goes into a section with those 3 chords. It's far more like the Stones, and they play a kind of. So I didn't get the rhythm like that. Laurie's also got a tagline in this, so when they're all playing, that's the kind of hook, the guitar hook of the song. When it comes to the guitar solo, Laurie plays this. Right? And that was really the first time I'd ever heard anyone play that kind of a major scale, you know. And funnily enough, there are sections on The Alchemist that are really reminiscent of some of Jimi Hendrix's clean sounds on the Cry of Love. I can't reiterate, you know, the albums are worth getting. Incredible guitar. If you've got a taste for a twin lead, Blitzkrieg, you know, the second album's got a song called Dreamer that, you know, Mick Cook and Laurie Wisefield play in a kind of Albert Lee style frenzy. It's mind blowing, you know, like 40 years later. It's incredible guitar. Yeah. Anyway, that song was really important to me. I loved the song, but I loved Laurie's playing, and it really made me think, you know, so I'm just turning my volume slightly. It really made me think about, you know, the scale patterns and how to use that sort of stuff, which of course obviously you can use all over the board. You know, you've got all the scales using a, you know, G major over, you know, over a G major chord. And you know, I'll break down what Laurie plays. The first time when Mick's singing, he plays this. Right? Just go on a G, 5-note G major scale. Then give it a shake. You see me giving that. So Mick plays F. When it hits the C, Laurie plays. Just a little tiny variation on the line, but it's great. And as I say, the guitar hook, it's great, right? Now he reprises that for his solo. So they've sung the chorus, and Laurie suddenly bursts into this. So that's his first line, you know, and that's pretty up front. It's in your face. Again, it's off the G major. And then he plays a kind of snap. So the notes are. But it sounds as if he played it with his finger. And then, you know, Laurie was he was a demon fast guitar player for the time, and he had this sort of picking style that was just different to what was around. You know, there really wasn't. I don't think there was anyone doing what Laurie Wisefield did, and when he joined Wishbone for There's a Rub, it was a match made in heaven, believe me. So he's got, then it's snap, and then he plays. Right, so that's a. You've heard that kind of lick before. It's not a million miles away from that we would all avoid like the plague, right? But it's, you know, it's ballpark. He then finishes off by going. Similar sort of thing. And that's the whole solo. And towards the end, they just let him go. You know, it's just like, you know, they're all singing, you know, Fancy Lady, Hollywood Child, Stay With Me a While, Let Me Love You, Like Your Mother Should Have Done. And Laurie's just in this frenzy of those lines. That's basically it. If if anybody's interested in knowing the start of Dreamer, you know, which is, as I say, on this one, give me a shout and I will do my homework and endeavour to play it, because Dreamer is, you know, twin guitar knockout. But that song is a song that you could learn so much from rather. And it really, I think, got a lot of people into playing. So, thanks to Laurie Wisefield from me for that. And thanks to everyone, to Home, you know, for 4 great albums. As I said, I don't have the first one on CD. But I'll try and get them one day, you know. They really were a great band. They really were one of these bands that you can tell all your friends about, and you know, they're just not as well known as they should have been, in my opinion, and we all hoped they would be. So there you go, that was it. Home, Fancy Lady, Hollywood Child.